always like to start off by making a stupid face and try to do something weird with the the screenshots, since it's always going to be just the first screenshot. At least it seems like the first frame is like thumbnail. If I can do this. All right. So, took my lunch break. I found that Harlequin and got my +10 to dexterity. Okay. So I'm supposed to score 100 points on this. Wow, there's like no instructions. Nope. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense either. Now that you mention it. Hey, +1 to magic. So I always thought that Gadlock is gunpowder, but yeah, if they have fireworks, how do they not have gunpowder? Might be a continuity flaw. That wouldn't surprise me. I didn't know this existed either. I was just looking at like the number of side quests, and that this was one of them. Apparently, you can get like +10 willpower if you score 100 points. But from what I read, it's actually impossible to score 100 points because of the way the fireworks I assume that you're supposed to get them shot off like at the crest, maybe? But apparently like those last couple of them won't will make it to where you can't actually score 100. Because you only get 5 points for those huge explosions. There's 20. It's like the Harley Quinn thing. I didn't realize that was a thing. They're supposed to be like unmarked side quest or something. Just trying to get the schematic. I like the last weapon. Yeah, I like how there's no instructions. You're just supposed to kind of guess. I guess maybe they're not actually supposed to be fireworks because they're not really like fireworks. Maybe that's how they get around it. It's not actually fireworks. Because it's actually more of a cloud than like spraying of the gunpowder. Like, how am I supposed to know which one's gonna... Doesn't seem to be any kind of like rhyme or reason to the scoring or when the sweet spots of these explosions are supposed to be. assume I'm supposed to hit it when it hits the apex of the arch, but even then it doesn't seem to be true. Here, I'll read what the description of this fireworks. There are fireworks you can activate. To maximize the points, detonate the fireworks at the highest point. Each round you can detonate 20 fireworks, and each one will reward you with 0, 1, 3, or 5 points. Perfect detonation is indicated by a much larger explosion and a louder detonation. So, but it's like you get 100 willpower if you score 100 points, so you're perfect, but it's impossible to be perfect because they shoot more than one firework at a time. Especially with the last bunch, they just shoot like all 5 of them at or like those, like... Am I supposed to just spam it and hope that it's correct? It's hard to tell from like the angle where I'm at to know like when it's the right time to detonate them. Just kind of got lucky. I was 2 points short, really. really? Reminds me of, like, there was a game on the Xbox 360 that was like this, like you shoot fireworks or something. It's like the early days of the Xbox arcade. It completed? Is it completed? Looks awesome. Nice to meet you, bro. It's David. I hope I watch you on YouTube on PlayStation. Okay, hi David. Sometimes it just feels arbitrary rather than any actual skill. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm hitting some of them at the peak or near it. And it's like, it doesn't count. And then sometimes I feel like I hit it too early and it gives me like the highest one. About 2 years. I can see that if it takes you if you have to take frequent breaks from it. I've beaten it a couple of times before. It takes me about like 100 hours. And to get to this point, it's taken me like about 158 hours. But I am a completionist, so I stopped to do everything. Such as this right here, shooting fireworks. I think this, like, will unlock, like, arguably the best, like, two-handed weapon in the game. Like, the prismatic, great axe, I think. We have to score at least 80. I feel like I keep doing worse. Like I'm supposed to predict like the arch of this thing that I have no control over. I don't know how much velocity I put into it, what its mass is. just supposed to know when it's going to be at its apex. Especially from this angle. If I try staring like this. Seemed to help. There we go. Now we can move on because I'm not going to try any more of that. Hold the mug. Synchronize that. All that for this thing. Or is it this one? Chromatic Great Sword. They both seem to be the same. Right. Offense, offense, utility. Offense, offense, utility. That's, I see. It's because it has like metal, leather. Don't actually need this. I'm not gonna mess around with it right now. So onwards. Drink some iced coffee. And then back into the fade. No, fade. I say the fade, it's the crossroads. Coal, iron bull, and black ball. Tom Rainier. That's all I like to call him, Mr. Phony. So now that mirror is open, but we're actually going to take a quick detour because there's something we need to grab over here. Damn, 20 minutes of like shooting fireworks. I did not expect me to take that long. Ow, my hand hurts. The blood's still there. So I hear you're not feeling all that well. Well, I've noticed. Lessons learned. I got a cold, if you're still in the chat. There's a way I can break in there somehow. I think it's through here. If I do this thing. Ah. Yep. so it wasn't quite this thing. There's some place where I'm supposed to hear the rubble. I don't think I can open this either. Just wait for my thingy to recharge. Nope. I take it I either have to fall in or find a way around. This here, maybe.
That's Fen'Harel, removing the face markings from a Dalish elf.
Cleansed, fresh-faced where the marks once marred. Fen'Harel helping, healing, giving hope.
No, it doesn't actually hear. The shore. Let's see. Revisit the location. Clear the rubber on the shore, southwest of the Forgotten Sanctuary, which is here. That's out here. I think we have to go outside. Which is kind of weird. Like, why would you even do that? Oh, it's a responding hollow thing. Pew, 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 pew. Yeah, shoot a fist at you.
Goodbye!
Got a special pelt. So, southwest. Somewhere over here. Not that I need it. So is there a secret cave over here? Aha, there is. Oh, there's some gat lock. You conveniently place gat lock. Oh look, I could have detonated using my anchor thingy. And since it gives me brief invincibility, it's not like I have to worry about blowing myself up. Holy Grail. Ooh, 50,000 gold. A crystal griffin and an amethyst. Oh wow. It's like, here, have some gold when it's pointless and unneeded because how the hell are we carrying all of this? It's completely pointless and needless because you're at the end of the game and you can't backtrack and buy everything you want. How much did that bring my gold up to? $250,000. Kind of, almost. Loading. I guess I have to go back this way too.
It's completely submerged.
I wonder if any of the workers got out.
So does that mean once the water can eventually rise up to the... right here. I wonder if that means that the water's eventually going to reach that
We should see where that leads.
Water's just going to start pouring into the fade.
Another alluvion.
I mean, I think it does eventually just start pouring into... There's water, like, leaking into the fade from, like, the rift that's under Crestwood. Now we're somewhere else. And clearly we're not in the deep woods, though, because there's daylight. Wind that's gonna blow my fire out.
Look at this mural. Hold on. I see something hidden in it.
These stupid runes. Hail Adjudicator and Savior, she has struck down the pillars of the earth rendered their demise into the people. Praise her name forever. Small amount of blood falls into the air. There's also a vivid image of the green vines growing and enveloping the shape of a sphere of fire. The vision grows dark, and Aeon, Final Fantasy X, seems to pass. Oh, Eon. Not an Aeon. Silly me. Then the runes crackle as if filled by anger energy. A new vision becomes clear. Elves collapsing caverns, sealing the deep roads with stone and magic. Terror, heart pounding, cold as ice cold as the last of the spell was cast. A voice whispers, "What the Evanarius in their greed could unleash would end us all. Let this place be forgotten. Let no one wake its anger. The people must rise before their false gods."
The runes say the Evanurus fought the Titans. They mined their bodies for lyrium and something else.
Oh, hey, there's your
It's not
answer.
clear.
Lessons learned. So, yeah, the freaking, so the lyrium comes from the Titans. It's the blood of the Titans. You would think like these revelations would be like so earth-shattering and change the world as they know it forever, but again, meh. No one will ever listen to us, and people will just go la 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 la, you know, just like BioWare right now with the article, Jason Schreier's article. Fire interactable. Take this picture. Found the solution to my using the metal thing. Just don't blend the coffee with the ice. Just have iced coffee. I won't let sacrifice the texture or functionality of my metal straw. Apparently we're gonna head to the point of no return.
Good day. Would you care to trade?
should probably restock my potions. Totally forgot to do that. Here. Stupid save system. Damn article puts it all in perspective. How to make it from scratch and it's still clunky. Everything's clunky. Ooh, canary butt.
The sooner we stop this invasion plan, the better.
Look at all the broken mirrors.
Someone help!
Libyan studies. So the writing on these pages is completely incomprehensible, even to native speakers of Chapomon. The handwriting resembles scratches of an embittered chicken, but the inebriated chicken, but the drawings are meticulous. The excruciatingly careful study of several Libyans, along with the swift diagrams of their inner workings. Balefire. Must be important. Oh, this would make like... I'm sure this would make some elves cry. So I wonder where this is and what this place is.
We should hurry.
I'm dying.
Here they come!
Pew, 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 pew.
I wish I could say I'm surprised that Vitasala wants to murder everyone, but it makes sense. We tell stories about how corrupt the South is. Who wouldn't want to kill the evil nobles and save the people?
This is a sweet fortress, though. There. It's on the side of the mountain. And sexy Kunari statues.
Watch the patrol.
So I wonder
You want to take
where
them out
are
one
we,
at a
like, in
time,
relation to
fast,
everything?
or we'll have a mess on our hands.
Really?
Oh, here we go.
That's quite the door.
Oh, what does that belt do? Retaliation. When the wearer of the belt is attacked, some damage is reflected back. The torch disappeared. I gotta go back and go get one. Log of the Greenyard Gatekeeper. Morning, the artifacts brought in by his Zara Keith. Originally the original location not on manifest. I asked, is Kari, was told they're from ruins. Please remind agents that all relics must be properly cataloged or the Tarabas will never stop complaining about it. Afternoon, 3 keys deployed, including his Kiri of the Hiskith. Told her to write down the locations in her manifest this time. Evening, his Karith Raprak. His Kari handed me a manifest that said outside, asking my stand for a knife. So, I don't know, this seems odd because if you're... I thought part of the queue means you have to be obedient and do your job well and crap. Like the task is assigned, so if you're like actively defying orders, doesn't that kind of go against the queue? Like you're being asked to categorize like magical artifacts and where their location is, because that shit could be important. Knowing where these magical items came from might reveal what the what their nature could be. Research tower. Okay, found the key. What their nature could be and what they do. I feel like this is the Kunari leadership covering their asses. Yeah, I guess. But it's like... you would think that the Kyun, if they're so, like, you know, you get assigned a task for your life, and you're supposed to be good at that. Why are you assigning it to somebody who can't follow basic, simple instructions? It's just write down where you found the thing, the exact location. Don't be a smartass about it. Cerebos, this letter was clearly written a few lines at a time over the course of multiple days, as the ink at the start has already faded slightly. Elf who is... oh look, this Talus. Assuming that this is the actual Talus. Felicia Day Talus. Elf who is Talus. It is no longer my role in instruct others in the Qum, but I will share what I can with you if it brings you peace. You are not alone in your struggles to achieve mastery of yourself and your purpose. Many Vidathari come to the Qum filled with fear and anger. These feelings build walls brick by brick within the self. They prevent you from seeing others around you, seeing the world as it is. They convince you that you are alone and in darkness, that you must fend for yourself. The walls are real, but the darkness and the solitude, the world that they create within the south, that is all illusion. You must work to tear down the walls if you wish to see the truth, and the truth is no one is alone. It is the wisdom revealed in the to Kuzlin is the desert long ago, in the desert long ago. What looks like solitude is connected. What? What looks like solitude is connectedness. Okay. What looks like darkness is only the space between stars. This portion of the letter is slightly newer, and the handwriting, which was exceptionally tidy at first, has become somewhat looser, as if written in a hurry. And it is not just Vidathari who struggle with these illusions. The world changes the self, and we must balance mastery upon its changing tides. Once I was Ashkari, and I spend my days examining the philosophy of the Qun, trying to seek the enlightenment that Kuzlin found. But my dreams of demons took me down a new path. Here, the writing is filled with crossed-out passages and scripts that become shaky. Some of the ink is still wet, and now with the song liquid crossed out. And now I study the dam which holds back the magic at its source. We will cross out. It is our purpose to cross out. Things change, little Talus. The world changes. Find purpose in the people around you, and your role will become clear. Okay. Remember when crossed out. It will be hard to find wisdom in the noise. The noise is the illusion, remember, like in the darkness, but the walls are real, remember that. Tear down the walls first and you will see the truth. Sarah. Okay. So I feel like the first part's supposed to be an allegory for depression, and of course I guess this person's suffering from like lyrium poisoning. But it sounds weird, so you're supposed to find yourself around the people around you, which is weird because, again, the Qun gives you your purpose. And if it's hard to find wisdom within the noise, I would think that being around other people would create a lot more noise. That's, I'm getting mixed messages there.
Red lyrium. Do the
That might be
Qunari have
me.
any idea what they're dealing with?
Oh,
The song is different, but the pieces fit together.
so he was getting affected by red lyrium. So I guess that means if we put all the pieces together, red lyrium ultimately is...
That wasn't it.
So red lyrium ultimately is red lyrium that has been infected by the blight. We know that lyrium now comes from titans, titans being these giant creatures that we can't even see because they're so big. So essentially, the titans are living things and they can be infected by the darkspawn taint. So I wonder if that, like, I assume that the titans probably eventually die because of the taint, just as like the taint seems to kill everything. Or I wonder if they turn into darkspawn themselves. Like it's, like I wonder if they actually ever thought of all of that through. Excavated mural believed to be a self-portrait of Ben Heron. One sees a hunter, one flees from it, one hunts it in turn, one outwits it. Now, the golden nug, because I probably...
That wasn't it.
Where is the statue? Probably at like the very bottom or something. Yep, there he is.
Is that an astrarium? How did the Qunari move it here?
Maker's breath. Do they even know what half these things do?
What the hell is that thing? It's like a giant blister on the wall. Oh yeah, it's an astranium. Some weird hand thingy. So it's a bunch of magical artifacts here. Huh. These little square pyramids. I forget what it is in this game, but I feel like this is also like a reference to Mass Effect. Like the beacon, the weird beacon thing that you find in Mass Effect 2 as a side quest. Hasn't unlocked, so I think I have to go back. If I was supposed to find like one last schematic or something, and that's why the golden nug is here, so I can synchronize it. for those of you who don't know, what the Golden Nug does is it's supposed to let you export all of the, I think all the higher tier schematics you can find, since a lot of the schematics that are actually in the game are random loot, which is kind of annoying. But that way any other future playthroughs, you can import it once you get to Skyhold, and won't have to struggle to find them. But I don't know, like this was put in pretty like late into the game's life cycle, which is like, honestly, who the hell would want to replay this game at that point? Honestly, it would have been nice if they actually put these into
yes,
the 360
do the
version.
thing to the other thing. Oh, sorry, I'm not good with things that don't have feelings.
Yeah, unfortunately, they didn't put it into like the 360 or the PlayStation 3 versions because those are unsupported. Those are too hard.
Let's go.
God damn, I'm so glad I didn't buy this game for the PlayStation 3. Complete my collection. Cool. Certain instructions for new workers. The Dragon's Breath must continue regardless of concerns at the Winter Palace. Many are new to the Qun and have not yet learned to trust. Your worry is understandable. The rest of the world has betrayed you. All who have been to the Darvarad know that the difficulty of maintaining the specimen for extraction. Yeah, the dragon breath is an actual dragon, if I remember. For as long as we have, if we delay the dragon's breath, we would have to dispose of the specimen. Crafting the Gatlock is normally a slow process requiring much mining and careful alchemy. Venom extraction offers the only means to deliver the dragon's breath quickly and in large quantities. To delay dragon's breath is to lose any chance of bringing peace to the south without needless suffering. The Qun demands that we save the workers of the south from bloody war and deliver them into the teachings before corruption further takes the land. Others voice concern over the specimen. The Qun does not demand cruelty for any living being, but all creatures have a place and a duty under the Qun. The specimen serves as it must. When the dragon's breath is complete, it will be extinguished quickly and painlessly as when we slaughter animals for food. Follow your superiors to deal with the agents of Fen'Harel, and remember your role in service to the Qun. You can trust the state. Journals. Ascent to Palace again, moving things along. best shams and never notice who comes or goes. When the dragon's breath comes, they won't know what hit him. Which is true. No one's gonna notice the servants moving about. It's this way. Oh, it's just this door. What's up here? Physical immunity. No physical effects in combat. So I believe this is the end over here. Or we're getting pretty damn close to it. They're extracting something from a dragon. I don't recall what. Venom. Blood. Dragon thyroid. The weapon.
Crap. Come on, we have to get you out of here.
Study. Letters and replies to the Honorable Salasari Triumvirate of the Cune. On behalf of the Inquisition, I humbly inquire as to the hostile actions of your agents in Halashira. We can only view the attacks by Ben Hasra agents upon our officers and the infiltration and sabotage of the Exalted Council as Halashiram as prelude to declaration of war. If the Kunari people do not wish to provoke the retaliation of the Chantry, these hostilities must cease at once. Respectfully yours, Josephine Montreal. How long is this supposed to even take? Again, here's the problem with the pacing of time in this world. It's like, how long have we been at these talks? This feels like we've been at the Winter Palace for at least like 2 days tops. The fact that Josephine has written a letter and it got mailed out, I assume by bird, but even then it was still to whatever Kunari representatives, that they even have like some sort of consulate. Like what the hell is the flow? And for the letter to end up here under a pile of like notes, just memos and stuff, like pretty much ignored. Several incomprehensible messages and Kunlet follow. A letter in common with an elegant script has been torn open and crumpled into a ball, but the writing is still legible. To Ambassador Josephine Montelier of the Inquisition, the Triumvirate of the Kunari Field wishes to assure you that despite the loss of the dreadnought Barathlock and its crew, 100 souls, in a failed joint mission with the Inquisition 2 years past, military action has not been approved against the Inquisition. No one in Parvalen has authorized actions of any kind involving the Exalted Council, nor will they. We are seeking out Benthasra priest, who appears to be leading this operation without our consent. Once she is located, we assure you that these hostilities will cease. Oh, I would have thought they would have commented like, oh, so they seem to have like, so they intercepted the letters? Wait, that doesn't make any sense. So Josephine sent a letter out to essentially Parlavon being, what the hell, guys? Why are you attacking us? And they're like, we didn't attack you. This is a rogue group. They don't have our consent. They don't represent us. But like, why are both letters here? Like, it would one. So, is it common that, like, oh, let me send my response with the letter I got from you? And if Josephine's letter was intercepted, then how could the Qun, like the people in Parvalon, write a response to it if they never saw the letter? I know it's a setup, so we know what the hell they're responding to, but you could have started off the letter, hey, to respond to the letter of your, of us being attacking you, no, it's not us. It's a rogue faction, because it always is a rogue faction. I mean, even if it isn't a rogue faction, and they actually do represent him, they're not gonna... They may not admit to it, not that the Qunari actually lie. Supposedly they don't lie. They might omit certain truths, but they don't blatantly lie. And so, even if it is all true that this is a rogue faction, they don't represent us, we're not going to shed any tears over it. Or over any of the actions that are done, because we benefit from it, although we will actively try to stop it, because it isn't in our best interest. Dragon Breath Plan. Contains a number of diagrams, including blueprints.
There's no pain, just lots of ideas. I'm not the right kind of spirit for this.
Morrigan said the key to an Illuvian could be anything, including knowledge or power. So they're stockpiling both. That's how they got the keystone and opened so many of the Illuvians we've seen.
Hopefully they don't have any more ancient magic crap to throw at us. That dragon skull would make a wicked armchair, though. Maybe we could take it... hold after this.
So, there's the foreshadow of all these dragons, all these dead dragons.
Dragon's Breath is an actual dragon.
Tethar! Vaz!
Inquisition! Nira Tasiasara! Niraba Sadim Kata! Hisrat, now! Please! Vinekatas!
Not a chance, ma'am.
So this is where he can turn treacherous. I think he'll show up even if he isn't in your party. He'll just appear like through a door and be like, dang, bitches. A traitor, yo!
Name burns like a broken dreadnought. The Iron Bull. You're hurt.
The Iron Bull is just fine. When this is over, drinks are on me. Probably a lot of them. All right, break time's over. Let's do this.
Ah, this hurted. Posted in the factory. The primers combine no more than 1 part Atashi venom with an equal amount of death root Anox and 3 parts dissolved silverite. Adding more venom will dissolve the cast on the primers here in the factory and will fill the room with deadly gas. Whoever keeps getting the formula wrong needs to see immediately. We have great many primers to make on a tight schedule and cannot afford any more delays. So I take it they're essentially trying to make explosives like an explosive alternative. Because their normal explosive takes a lot of time and resources to mine and whatnot. Since they're not in that advantage, enough position, but need a lot of it, so they're just trying to make an alternative. You guys get that. Beast presents chafing around limbs. And tail, likely from attempts to use chain, while his natural strength remains. Muscles are shackled, are slack from confinement. Tara said that she initially tried drugging the beast to the amount required to keep it sedated, changed the quantity of its venom so that it was no longer useful in producing Getlock. She says Fire has kept it under control, while the heat panels keep it in a state of comfortable drowsiness. Taras is not good at descriptions as she thinks she is. She does not like what we're doing to the beast. She calls it Atashi, which means something like great thing, and she repeats saying from the human to herself when she extracts venom. I don't disagree with her. I saw enough harm done to innocent beasts at my lord's sneering command. The beast, the Atashi, deserves better than the pry bars and the needles we use on it every time we drain its venom gland. Taradarash says that I might be needed at the Winter Palace. It is likely that some view elves with suspicion, thanks to these attacks by the agents of Ben and Rel, but a human woman might still pass unnoticed amongst the servants. She says that I may be asked to deliver more Gatlock in different containers. She says that it could be dangerous, and if I do not return, most will assume I am dead. As I said, is not good at deception as she thinks she is, but she is right. I do not join the team for this. So they even doubt him. There you go. do this. Dragon.
So, boss, we gonna fight the dragon or what?
She's scared. She doesn't want to be here. They hurt her.
Will not let you cut down the Atashi.
Yes! We're helping her!
The gate is ready. Now we have to clear a path. Stuck on something.
Hishara!
I can turn invisible or what? That.
Merhaba Sadim Tata!
Hold on, Bo!
Barriers are set. Now we just need to open the gate.
Atashi
Yeah,
Iqua!
I'm not
Kereta!
bothering trying to attack the Kunari because they're just, I'm sure they just respawn endlessly. Ah.
That's it. There goes our dragon.
Okay. It's like taking all its power to load the cutscene. I can hear the doors are locking again too. I wonder if it's because my character died. Like looting assets. Uh-oh, so How many people think it might have just died right now? Oh, that still works. Oh, I think the game is stuck. Oh, hey. What just happened? It's like it tried to... Did it try to play like the cutscene and it couldn't? Got rid of all the enemies. It's like it couldn't do it. Let's try it again. Hope that the trigger isn't undone. At least the game didn't crash, it just doesn't know what to do. Oh. Okay, I guess Iron Bull made it alive.
Hashara!
I guess the final boss, because she meets a cruel fate.
Dear Inquisitor, you have such little time left. You must finally see the truth. Elven magic already tore the sky apart. If the agents of Fen'Harel are not stopped, you will shatter the world as well.
Whatever you think I've done, mass assassination isn't a good moral high ground.
The South was poisoned by these elves' manipulations. It suffers just as you do now. You would have died from the mark on your hand, but for the help of one of their chief agents. The same agent who helped seal the breach, who led you to Skyhold, who gave Corypheus the orb, then founded the Inquisition. Soulless, agent of Fen'Harel.
That makes no sense.
Solus wanted that orb. If the agents of Fen'Harel gave it to Corypheus, he couldn't be one.
Or perhaps he was tasked with removing the evidence of his group's interference. Solus tricked us all. He pushed a dying Qunari into the Winter Palace to lure you into opposing us. Without him, we could have brought the South peace and wisdom along the gentle path. Now we must take the way of blades.
They're playing with teeth.
Panahadan, Inquisitor. If it is any consolation, Solus will not outlive you.
That was a huge Qunari. I'll kill myself.
Solus is the only one who can help with my mark. We find him before Vidasala does.
Of course, I always wondered why they couldn't... I think he always just ends up lopping his hand off. I always wonder why Corypheus just didn't do that. I wonder if like his hand is usable too, with the mark. I always wonder why Dumbledore couldn't just lop his hand off too, to keep that curse from spreading from through his body.
The Vidasala can't be far. Everyone back! Ah!
Anchor meltdown. The anchor now builds up power even faster. Using it is difficult, but discharges all accumulated focus. If focus reaches full power, the anchor discharges uncontrollably, damaging you and your allies nearby.
It's louder, faster. Solus can help. Heal the hurt. Solus doesn't want to hurt people. He isn't that kind of wolf. The Canary don't see.
Over there. That's got to be where Solus is.
Ooh, giant magic mirror. Run.
There! He can't be far from her, or it hurts him.
Cerebus, Rathro, Sukra!
Pretty. Oh no, can't swim. I out of potions again.
He's coming to stop us!
Oh, final boss. It's a huge Cerebos. Oh, my man disappeared. Dead.
He's coming to stop us!
Run away.
More coming.
Cheat, I'll cheat back. So, screw the fight. God damn it, the Cerebus are this powerful. Why the hell didn't we just throw these at Corythius? There we go. Let's just cheese this fight.
He's coming to stop us!
That actually warned? Yes, it is. This is my character model.
Looks like he's off the leash.
Barabbas! 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 You will not leave here, Inquisitor. Antam! Ibrashak Adim!
Seriously, how the hell are they getting up there if there's like no stairs? Why was that Luvian put there? How is that practical use? Who the hell turned on the sepia filter? Mirrors everywhere.
One of the damned mirrors has to lead out of here.
God damn, even on freaking tablet these days are like fucking control extenders.
One of these blasted mirrors has to lead out of here.
I wonder if it's the one they're guarding.
Maravas Kataraha!
You are dead, Inquisitor! Your soul is dust!
Controller of the sepia filter. Casual, this is taking way longer than I feel like it should. Again, I've accepted everybody. Okay, I got a follower, I guess. Keep in mind, I just looked up what are the best armor sets and stuff, and this is on casual that it's taking this long. It's like the best weapons made out of the best materials.
You can't hurt him, but the Fade can. Use your mark!
Am I really gonna, send him to the Fade? Oh, I vaporized him. Well, the final boss of Dragon Age Inquisition is a Cerebus. Honestly, he's a lot better than Corypheus, even though Corypheus is more intimidating, but holy shit, it's a giant, sexy oxman. Bigger than most. And final cutscene with all the exposition. Finally, answers will be given, and to some extent. So I guess the stone magic that's been previously said to be Tevinter magic isn't. It's elven magic. I'm surprised that the stones aren't yelling at us. Oh my god, help us! We're conscious.
Your forces have failed. Leave now and tell the Qunari to trouble me no further.
Solus.
That should give us more time. I suspect you have questions.
It makes me wonder, why did we struggle so much if he's super powerful?
The Qunari answered some of those questions.
And he didn't want to give
the information I found while traveling through the Illuvians answered more.
Down.
You're Fen'Harel. You're the Dread Wolf.
You're not an agent of the
well done.
Of the Dread Wolf.
I was Solus first. Fen'Harel came later. An insult I took as a badge of pride. The Dread Wolf inspired hope in my friends, and fear in my enemies. Not unlike Inquisitor, I suppose. You also know the burden of a title that all but replaces your name.
Yeah. Attack him. Your life sounded hard.
Are you a fragment of what Fen'Harel once was? Like Mythal?
No. This is all I have ever been.
And the legends?
I sought to set my people free from slavery to would-be gods. I broke the chains of all who wished to join me. The false gods called me Fen'Harel, and when they finally went too far, I formed the Veil and banished them forever. Thus I freed the Elven people, and in so doing, destroyed their world.
Because they were... I assumed that it's not so much that elves fell from, like... they lost the favor of their gods. It's that's so much as that they lost the people that were leading them, controlling them as super powerful mages. All that was left is just these ignorant elves that didn't really know how to operate a government, know how to wield this magic, know how to upkeep like the cities and all the stuff. So that's why the Elvens fell and became slaves again to other more dominant species and races and whatnot and cultures. And we're all pretty much lost their way.
You love the Fae.
Questions.
Why would you create the Veil to hide it all away?
Because every alternative was worse.
Meaning?
Had I not created the Veil, the Evanurus would have destroyed the entire world.
You banished the false gods. You didn't kill them.
You met Mythal, did you not? The first of my people do not die so easily. The Evanurus are banished forever, paying the ultimate price for their misdeeds.
Banished forever, so they're not dead, but they're gone forever?
You said that the elven gods went too far. What did they do that made you move against them?
They killed Mythal. A crime for which an eternity of torment is the only fitting punishment.
I thought Mythal was one of the Evanurus.
She was the best of them. She cared for her people. She protected them. She was a voice of reason. And in their lust for power, they killed her.
The fate destroyed.
How did creating the Veil destroy the world?
You saw the remains of Via Dethara. The library was intrinsically tied to the Fade, and the Veil destroyed it. There were countless other marvels, all dependent on the presence of the Fade, all destroyed. The elven legends of immortality, all true. It was not the arrival of humans that caused them to begin
So,
aging.
if humans just arrived, where did they come from?
It was me. The Veil took everything from the
Did they
elves,
evolve, like,
even
from
themselves.
apes as well? Like in this world? Are humans aliens in this foreign world? Just like the Kunari? Or is Thedas like a continent and humans are from like another continent and they're far off continents somewhere in this large world that they just arrived here and conquered it? Of course the dwarves lived underground, but apparently they were driven underground, so did they also evolve from here? Questions about how the evolution of this world works. I think they come from another continent. Thedas is the southern continent, but it's not the only one. Yeah. So, even though I thought Thedas was like the name of the world, their planet, I assume they're like the furthest south, southern continent, but not close enough to be like the South Pole.
The Evanurus were elven
Or
mages.
maybe things are just not all that.
How did they come to be
all
remembered as
thought out.
gods?
Slowly. It started with a war. War breeds fear. Fear breeds a
Yeah,
desire
the
for
known
simplicity.
world.
Good and evil, right and wrong, chains of command. After the war ended, generals became respected elders, then kings, finally gods. The Evanurus.
Yeah, the known world. So it's like the world of Azeroth, where it's just like these two giant continents, and then all of a sudden all these little add-ons. All the expansions just keep adding to the map. Like, oh look, there's this other continent we never really knew about, and here's the mist of Kung Fu Panda continent here, and so on and so forth.
That's the past. What about the future?
I lay in dark and dreaming sleep while countless wars and ages passed. I woke still weak a year before I joined you. My people fell for what I did to strike the ever nearest down. But still, some hope remains for restoration. I will save the elven people.
Giant mirror.
Even if it means this world must die.
Why does this world have to die for the elves to return?
But the elves
A good
are
question,
still here.
but not one I will answer.
Because
You have
we
always
haven't
shown a
thought of it
thoughtfulness
yet.
I respected.
We just need to create conflict.
It would be too easy to tell you too much. I am not Corypheus. I take no joy in this. But the return of my people means the end of yours. It is my fight. You should be more concerned about the Inquisition. Your Inquisition. In stopping the Dragon's Breath, you have prevented an invasion by Qunari forces. With luck, they will return their focus to Tevinter. That should give you a few years of relative peace.
So I want to give you peace, and I want your last years and your last moments to be peaceful and enjoyable before I ultimately come and shatter that myself and force you all to die, I guess.
The Qunari said the Inquisition was unknowingly working for agents of Fen'Harel.
I gave no orders.
You led us to Skyhold.
Corypheus should have died unlocking my orb. When he survived, my plans were thrown into chaos. When you survived, I saw the Inquisition as the best hope this world had of stopping him. And you needed a home. Hence, Skyhold.
You gave your orb to
Not
Corypheus.
humans and
Not directly.
others have magic. So
My
it's a
agents
veil.
allowed the Venatori to locate it.
Yeah,
The
you
orb
would
had built
think.
up magical energy while I lay unconscious for millennia.
Would everyone also
I
become
was
a
not
mage
powerful
if
enough to open it. The plan was for Corypheus to unlock it, and for the resulting explosion to kill him. Then I would claim the orb. I did not foresee a Tevinter Magister having learned the secret of effective immortality.
Yeah, and so if the Fade's all around you, doesn't that make everyone a mage too?
What would have happened if Corypheus had died and you had recovered the orb?
I would have entered the Fade using the mark you now bear. Then I would have torn down the veil. As this world burned in the raw chaos, I would have restored the world of my time. The world of the elves.
If you destroyed the veil, wouldn't the false gods be freed?
I had plans.
I never thought of you as someone who would do that, Solus.
Thank you. You must understand. I awoke in a world where the veil had blocked most people's conscious connection to the Fade. It was like walking through a world of tranquil.
We aren't even people to you.
Not at first. You showed me that I was wrong. Again. That does not make what must come next any easier.
For whatever it's worth, thanks for the castle.
For whatever it's worth, you used it well.
What's wrong with the Inquisition?
You created a powerful organization. And now it suffers the inevitable fate of such. Betrayal and corruption.
Yep.
It's not that simple.
No, it's
Do you
really
know
is.
how I discovered the Qunari plot? The plot I disrupted by leading them to your doorstep. The Qunari spies in the Inquisition tripped over my spies in the Inquisition. The Elven Guard who led you to the Qunari body? Who intercepted the servant with the Gatlock barrel? Mine.
Why bother disrupting the Qunari plot if you're going to destroy the world regardless?
You have shown me that there is value in this world, Inquisitor. I take no joy in what I
If
must
you're,
do.
I think if you're making
Until that day
your
comes,
enemy,
I would see those
essentially
recovering
you
from the
make
breach
him not
free of
like
the
you. I
Qun.
think he still does. in some
Why?
ways. He's just like,
Because I am not a
because
monster. If they must die, I
thought
would
it'd be
rather they
nice
die
guy,
in
I
comfort.
guess.
In any event, it is done.
I guess we owe you for that one too.
I hope it gives your people some final peace.
You control the Alluvians now.
Yes. You remember Briala from Halam Shiral? For a time, she controlled part of the labyrinth. One of my agents was
There's,
supposed
like,
to take it from her,
Some animation
but he did not
glitches.
succeed. I had to override the magic personally.
From like
The
my
Qunari
choices.
stumbled upon this section independently. With them
Since
gone,
I guess she's still around.
the Illuvians are now mine.
There's still the matter of the anchor.
I
It's
wonder how
getting
come you
worse.
can't just reclaim it. It's magic.
Yes. I'm sorry. And we are almost out of time.
Can't you just do the thingy again? Or take it away?
The mark will eventually kill you. Drawing you here gave me the chance to save you. At least for now.
You don't need to destroy this world. I'll prove it to you.
I would treasure the chance to be wrong once again, my friend.
How come you can't choose...
Take my hand.
How come you can't choose, like,
I'm sorry.
can I help you? You know what? I think you're right. Even if it means our
Live
end.
well, while time remains.
Can I help you lead this world into rebirth? Kind of go crazy? Kind of become like the Venatori with Corypheus? Be an agent for them? Nope. That's not a choice. You either have to be like, don't worry, we'll show you this world is still worth keeping around. Or, no, we will stop you. That's storytelling. Yep. Assuming that BioWare's even gonna get the chance to make a Dragon Age 4. It's like, I really wonder if, like, those revelations and those articles and Jason Schreier's, if this is gonna bring more embarrassment to EA and Anthem not being really all that great and just cobbled together, if it's just gonna even lead to them being axed. Like, just because they're great and they have a big upcoming project doesn't mean they're not going to get axed.
Something
just like
must be
at Visceral
done.
Games.
But we cannot lose the Inquisition now. We stand on the brink of war with the Qunari.
Yes, because
Again,
this Solas provoked them in
the
the first
cutscenes
place.
are playing
The
behind
Inquisition did not
blue
cause
screen.
this
There we
threat.
go.
We informed the Summit of the danger.
The danger posed by Qunari spies inside your organization.
Without our organization, you would not be alive to complain.
And cut my arm off.
No one has forgotten what you have
Should like
done.
fling my arm
But
at him.
Corypheus is 2 years dead.
So, you know,
If the
so
Inquisition is to continue,
I wonder if it'll even
it
get a
must do
fourth
so
one,
as
and
a
if it's even
legitimate
going to be worth
organization,
playing.
not a glorified mercenary
We can only
band.
hope that Anthem,
Inquisitor.
Anthem and Andromeda, and just like this tell-all will change the culture now, and hopefully Dragon Age 4 will be made in a really good game development culture at BioWare, like a shifting culture, hopefully, and be good, and not fall into the mistakes, because as lessons learned and I have always talked about, this game was good, but it's not as great, and as that article says, a lot of issues. This game was plagued with a lot of the same issues. It succeeded, and it probably wasn't anywhere near as bad as Andromeda and Anthem, but you can still see that this game is not all that great. It's okay at best, but it's not as good as it could have been. It's not a Dragon Age Origins or a Dragon Age or a Mass Effect 1. So not my choice. Artwork is done. So essentially I get to choose this band in 3 different ways, or choose to stick around and serve the divine. Effectiveness against will be stronger. Against Solas will be stronger but weaker. But more secure. So essentially it's my choice. We will keep the peace. We will need more oversight. We serve the divine, not you. We resolve this ourselves. The Inquisition needs to end. Our work is done. I say this is a reasonable choice as well. Inquisition's done. Bye.
You all know what this is. A writ From Divine Justinia authorizing
like, no
the
one's gonna
formation of the
question,
Inquisition.
hey dude, what happened to your arm?
We pledge to close the breach,
Should
find
be-
those responsible,
be like,
and restore order, with or without anyone's approval. We have fulfilled that pledge. And now the war is over, for most of us. It is time for our soldiers to sheathe their swords and go home.
Effectively putting a lot of
All
people
who
out
served,
of work.
thank you. It has been an honor. Effective immediately, the Inquisition is disbanded.
So am I still technically the Herald of Andraste, though? A religious symbol? And I wonder what kind of, like, outcome this would have in the next game. So I wonder if I get to be declared as a saint. Oh. And one last goodbye. It's not as memorable as a Citadel, I'll give them that. Just everyone just huddled. No, like, longing goodbyes. Bye! Yep. Peace. And then we get like this extended like slideshow epilogue of our choices and outcomes. Once again, too bad it's not narrated. Unpredictable organization dismantled. Others prefer to remember the Inquisition's good work and the many lives it had saved. For the moment. For those who serve to return to their former lives knowing that they have a great evil from destroying the world. Again, this was made on the budget. They couldn't afford somebody to, like, read all these narrations. And fighting through the peace, which has fought to remain once the Inquisition was gone. Of course, it is kind of reminiscent of, like, the first Dragon Age game with, like, the slideshow. Those were unnarrated as well. But the Dragon's Breath disrupted any hope of Swiss victory. Dash the Canary retreat back to the north. Few knew that what debates were waged in Parvalan, and not long after the Exalted Council, Canary launched new attacks against the Winter. Their aggression, caught by the already unstable Imperium off guard, Winter soon mired away in war. Many feared that it could spread across Thedas. The Exalted Council remained intact, advising Divine Justinia on the Imperial matters. Cassandra served for several years. While she often disagreed with Liliana's policies, the former right and left hands of the Divine shared a mutual respect and worked well together. Maybe it might have been Sten. Cassandra also spent time at Hunterhorn Mountains to the north, where she worked to rebuild the Seekers. I wonder if that changes whether Sten was alive or not, and whether you gave him the sword back or not. For a time, the new Seekers remained reclusive, seeking no interest in worldly affairs and working to purpose a few outside of the Order of Quick Gas. The end of the Inquisition, as it had been, sent shockwaves through the College of Enchanters. Madame de Frey, Abel played the mage on the Mage's Sphere. her followers united to build a new circle, with Vivian as its grand enchanter in direct competition with the college. Ooh, it caused a civil war amongst the mages. While the circle lacked the numbers they made up for it in political connections, soon they were a force to be reckoned with. I wonder what happens if we didn't recruit her. Should she just not? The two institutions settled into an uneasy coexistence across the south, vying for power. After the exalted council, the Liliana devoted herself to Sunburstone, her dreams of reshaping the Chantry. There's a witch hunt happening behind her. Within the year, she removed the restrictions surrounding the Chantry priests, allowing men and women of all races to initiate and ordain. To be initiated and ordained. Acceptance and tolerance, how dare you! This decree was followed swiftly by her decision to return the Cantel of Shurden to the canonical chant. A move, rebellion to renounce her and the return of Chantry's former state arose, beginning across Status and then spreading to other parts of Status. Ooh, I caused a civil war amongst the Chantry. Uh-oh, it's a Protestant movement in the world of Thetis, and just as quickly as began, the rebellion faltered because she was hardened. While most agreed that the rebellion collapsed due to infighting, some whispers that the Divine herself engineered its failure. The rebellion fractured into a number of splinter separate cells, some of which limped for several months before disappearing into obscurity. Yeah. The Church of Lex Luthor, or Lutheran, the Lutherans. The Inquisitor disbanded. Sarah joined the Inquisitor in officially retiring the scaring people in high places. Retired from scaring people in high places. By formal account agreement, both led boring, safe lives for nowhere special, doing not much at all. And with the comforting light, those in power continue their fragile lives as though it was back to normal. Okay, my Inquisitor has like a crossbow attachment and now. Meanwhile, Red Jenny, an entirely separate person, not at all collectively embodied by Sarah, the Inquisitor, and countless friends. Continue to make a difference or just have fun, where and when the impulse struck. Really, is there like prosthetics in this world? Okay. With frequent visits to her Waddell, of course. Who is Waddell? Whittle? Is that supposed to be Scout Harding? Most of the unnerving was Sarah's standing offer to the Divine. Most unnerving was the standing offer to the Divine. Would the knobs piss about with your left or your right? With your left and your right, call on Red Jenny to give them 2 fingers. Okay. Varric took up the role of Viscount and with the help of his friend Hawk, rebuild Kirkwall's damaged infrastructure. So then Hawk is still alive and just fine. Of course, we got a cameo from Aveline right there, and what's his face, or Seneschal. Under his rule, the city-state finally resumed its place as a major trading hub of the Free Marches. He continued to ignore all mail from both the Merchants Guild and the Prince of Stockhaven. Because I guess he doesn't like Sebastian all that much. Sebastian wants Blondie's head. But the Inquisition disbanded, the Wolves Chargers returned to taking jobs throughout Thetis and Ferelden. Fighting demons and clearing out the remains of the Venatori forces, Bull did his part to restore order to Thedas. After the Inquisition disbanded, Colin retired from active service. The doggy, who apparently also has been neutered. Or it could be a girl doggy, from that butt shot of the dog. He returned to Fendrel, establishing a sanctuary for former Templars and on the land of the Divine Justinia. So he made a Lyrium Attic Recovery Center. With his help, many Templars shed their Lyrium addiction, whose minds have gone too far, spent last days in combat. And as he promised that, should his friends from the old Inquisition ever need him, his blade will be ever ready. I know he could become like a sad, like, Lyrium addict and end up like on the streets as a hobo. Dorian returned to the Tevinter to take his father's place in the Magisterium. As rumors flew about the Imperials infighting, Dorian has spoken often of the voice of resistance against corruption. Along with the Magisters, Metabolus, he formed a group called Lucenary to restore and redeem Tevinter, a fight many thought hopeless. The fighting by the Magister, Pavis' side noted that he kept in constant communication with the Inquisitor via message crystal. They had a direct line to each other, whether for vital information or for moral support. These talks seemed to give Dorian the strength to continue his fight. After the exalted council, Tom Rainier bid farewell to his friends and went to Wysat Fortress to pledge himself to the Grey Wardens for good. While he was rarely seen in the years that followed, some said that they encountered Rainier in far-flung lands. Their account always similar. Rainier carried out the duties of the Wardens, but always found time to help others along the way. Sometimes he served as a shield for the defenseless. Other times he spread over cheer among children with gifts of small carved toys, so little wooden griffins. With the Inquisition disbanded, Josephine made her farewells and returned to Antiva and her family. She went back to Spain. Thanks to the Inquisition's help, the Montpelliers are once again permitted to trade in Orlais and in France. The next few years were a busy time, as many ships with the Montpelliers crest were built and set sail again from Antiva's harbors. Soon, Raveni pirate captains with the ancient feud against Josephine's ancestors took to the seas, determined to rekindle the rivalry. Really? Like, apart from Josephine's sister, Yvette nearly eloping with a dashing pirate prince, on one occasion Lady Montpellier took the development in stride. Paul returned to the Fade, saying that there was more pain coming, that he knew that where compassion would be needed most. And we never heard from him again. Promised that his friends in the Inquisition would remember him, and that where the hurt was greatest, he would help. After the events of Winter Palace, elves left the Inquisition for mysterious circumstances as did elven service across Thedas, so they heard the calling of the elves. So would that include Sarah? None could say where they went, but those who believed the Inquisitor's stories about Fenrir wondered just how large the Dreadwood's forces were. Couldn't you just follow them? And what the ancient elven rebel had planned. Resource. So like the alien, the elven aliens are gone, I guess. It's still planning, even though we're disbanded.
My agents have found nothing. With the Illuvians, he could be anywhere.
With the Inquisition officially disbanded, we have no army, no formal alliances.
Why are you here? Shouldn't you be...
We have what we truly need.
we have the divine.
To be careful.
Solus knows everything about us. Who we are, how we work, our strengths and weaknesses.
Then we find people he doesn't know. We will save our friend from himself. If we can.
Hi, Scar Howdy. It's like your only appearance in this DLC. I guess the only person who remained. Mark Laylaw. Bye. And well, that's the end of Dragon Age Inquisition. Yay. Well, it wasn't worth it. I think I have just a completely different outlook on this game now, given that article. This game isn't as good as people made it out to be. I've heard some people call it, it's Dragon Age, the apology after following the Mass Effect 3 ending controversy. I never really bought into that. They just worked to do better, or at least like try to get people to forget about the whole debacle. But it's honestly, was it worth it at the end? Given the lives is ruined, like it's a great story. No, it's not a great story at all. It's got memorable characters. It sort of progressed some of the lore and did some intrigue, but as we kind of saw in this DLC where it was just ripe for political intrigue, there's none of that. It's like we started the Exalted Council and then it's like, oh yeah, Kunari attack being thwarted, like go fight that. Don't deal with like political ramifications of what your organization represents and what it does now. What is its purpose once it's completed its mission? What do you do with all this power? It's just like, oh, let's not think about all those moral quandaries. I mean, they did kind of address it with the idea that it's being corrupt. It was infiltrated. There's spies of both sides of different other factions already infiltrated into the Inquisition in itself. So, I mean, there's that, but it doesn't really do like, well, what do we do? What does it mean to be like this?
What is this? A new book?
A paramilitary
All
thing.
this shit is weird. Oh, Varric, that is a terrible title. What are you even thinking?
Get it? Because he said he would do that.
The sky churned like a rolling sea on a dark and stormy night, centered on a gaping hole that led to the arse end of nowhere. A hole that spit up many things that day, comets, demons, and a whole lot of trouble. It's about the Inquisition. The din of the tavern cut the silence like it owed the carter money. In the middle, in her element, Red Jenny. She looked me up and down. mostly down. Not playing, weirdy, she said, gesturing with and dismissively eating a sandwich. Don't write that. Seriously, piss up a rope. Sarah made the subtext text, which suited me fine. The court enchanter swirled into the room like a drop of beautiful poison spreading in a wineglass. She sized me up with a glance. I'm so glad you made it, my dear, she said. I am Madame de Fair, the most terrifying person you shall ever meet.
EA certification.
Liliana enfolded Alphonse in an embrace as warm as a serpent's kiss. I always knew I could count on your support. The Count did not feel the bite of her poisoned dart until it was too late. Even if it requires your death. Drops of rain glistened on the griffin medallion grasped tightly in Blackwall's hand. The silverite wings of valor. They mean nothing. He flung the medal to the cold and uncaring ground. You don't know what I've done. You don't know me. So romantic.
I wonder if that's a reference to Fangirls liking Blackwall. Again,
Cole moved like a shadow that also moved like a knife.
Nice
a shadow wearing a hat where dreams came to die. It's a riddle, he whispered. A cold riddle that gnaws at your mind, but you'll feel better when it's gone. That makes as much sense as anything Cole says.
Stabby, stabby. Oh, only a cure. A quick lobotomy with my knife will take care of that.
Do you place your herald above the law, Ambassador? Whose law, my lady? Josephine's eyes glittered like angry opals. The law destroyed by rebellion, by civil war, by poor fiscal management. We are the law.
I play BioWare. Hashtag I play BioWare. I'll screw you guys.
We left our mark on Adamant, but the dust hadn't settled, and neither had Harding. I can offer you a drink, if I catch your meaning. If you'd caught my meaning, you'd have offered a double. What is even happening here?
Apparently, Barrick's book doesn't make any sense at all.
The Iron Bull was a great slab of muscle with horns that could hang a tapestry. One eye scanned for threats, while the other hid behind an eye patch like a chantry sister's old sins. Come on, he barked, not looking back as he entered. The dancer with the great rack comes on in 5. That is spot on, actually.
Live service operations, live service developers.
The commander had the look of a Templar who had seen the worst of humanity, yet still had the time to style his hair. This isn't just a war, he said, his gaze steely like a dull blade. It's the only war. Cullen! That's Cullen!
Yes. Good job. Good job, Cassandra. Okay, you should point to the picture of the dog.
The mage wore a class of handsome sneer cultivated by 1,000 years of Tevinter elitism. The name's Dorian, he glared. D-O-R-I-A-N. Spell it right, you marble-headed lump, or it's toad time. A toad? That's hardly credible. The bold elf spun, mage staff crackling like the city after a good man's murder. "You're crazy!" the Red Templar cried in terror. Moonlight glinted off ears like the knives you never see coming. Better to fade out than burn away. Ugh, Varric.
Facial animation software provided by OC3
Wait,
Entertainment.
Where am I? I don't... Oh, here it is. The Seeker clutched at my vest, her tears as desperate as they were pitiful. "Varric, I was wrong about everything," she sobbed. "Could you find it in your noble heart to forgive me?" That dwarf, he put me in the book! I'm in the book! I am reading the shit out of this!
Oh, hey, a message from BioWare. Well, the Dragon Age team. To all who played Dragon Age Inquisition, who laughed, who cried, who reached out on social media, who made fan art, comics, cosplay, and jokes, thank you. Dragon Age Inquisition was a labor of love. Was it really? Oh, wow. Ouch. Like, was it really? No, I didn't finish reading that. Oh, well. I know. Hang on. I'm live, so I could just do this. Dragon Age Inquisition was a labor of love. Without you, it would have never been possible. Your support and your passion touched us deeply. We hope that in a small way, this game touched you as well. Bear your blades and raise them high. Or raise it high. Bear your blade and raise it high. The Dragon Age team. I mean, I guess the characters, that's about it. Even as inconsequential as pretty much all the characters are, except for your starting ones, which are Cassandra, Varric, and Solus. All the other characters are 100% superfluous and add nothing to the plot at all. Add nothing to any of the plot. They might kind of help develop the world a little, but they're all pretty inconsequential. So, oh wow, it kind of puts that message at the end in retrospect, doesn't it? It's like, oh, labor of love. There's the whole thing again about like, oh, you should love and be proud that you're a gamer developer, even if you have to pretty much work 80-hour work weeks, because do it for the love of the art and stuff and not the pay and crap. Wow. Yeah, the labor of love, that's why people are locking themselves in offices to cry and need to take vacation time for the love. Yeah. Why you never look behind the curtain, I guess. But again, I would rather not live in blissful ignorance than live in miserable knowledge. But, well, that was Dragon Age Inquisition. I don't know what I'll stream next. I'll figure it out. Probably something not on PlayStation 4. I'm tired of having to move my PlayStation 4 to my living room. Well, thanks to everybody who watched me play through this game. Thank you, Lessons Learned. Check out his podcast. Check out his channel. Yeah. We do a podcast over on twitch.tv/lessonslearned1. One's important. Lessons learned 1. Every Wednesday about 11 a.m. Mountain Time, Arizona time, because I'm in Arizona. But, well, take care everybody, and thanks for watching.